Hi everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. We're here today with Nigel Sadek of Breathe Naturals, the deodorant line you see here in front of you. He's going to be here to talk about it. Before we get started, we just want to say hello to my co-host Omar Binno there. Today's episode is brought to you by the generosity of our friend Nurse Faith, from the Cosmetic Room. She's out in West Bloomfield. Book your appointments now. Hey, Nigel.
How's it going, everyone?
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. It's really great to be here, and I'm excited.
Good to have you on, man.
I've loved the podcast. Been listening for a few months ever since I found out through the Dominic Cusa episode, and really impressed, and I think it's so cool what you're doing with the community.
Awesome.
You
are
Team
too.
Cusa.
Yeah, Team Cusa. I appreciate you for reaching out.
Thank you.
That was awesome. That means the interest is there.
It is, yeah.
Something's coming positive out of it.
And I was even telling my dad last night how it's really cool that you guys are doing this and bringing more attention and bringing people together too.
Sure. Your dad's a cool cat.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. What's your dad's name?
So I'll give a little shout out, Chris Sadek. And I think the really cool thing about this episode and being Chaldean and the podcast overall is that I think one of the main values of Chaldeans is we all support each other, and we all when somebody starts a new business or somebody's sick or somebody's has a charity, we all rally to support each other. And I think
no doubt.
we stay really close, so that's really valuable.
Yeah. It's funny that when you reached out, you said, I'd like to learn a little more about it. I said, are you Chaldean?
I know, because I'm the whitest looking person, so a lot of people don't assume it, but I know.
I'm well, it's a Chaldean show. I am Chaldean.
I know, you're are you serious?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, everyone thinks I'm white, but my dad's Chaldean. My mom's Greek, so.
Just a question.
Okay.
Chris, your dad, Chris. Did he have a store in Belleville before?
Yeah, it's in Belleville.
God, that's
You
your
know him?
dad. Are you
You know
kidding me? What do you mean, do I know him? Oh my God! Did you
Really?
tell me you were going to come on the show with me?
He said I said Junior and Anthony. He said I know him. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what
So
do you
funny.
mean? So I used to be in the wireless industry back
Oh,
in the days,
okay.
right? So PageTel.
Yeah.
Your dad had a PageTel in Belleville,
did, yeah.
right inside by the store, didn't you?
It was inside.
Inside the store.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I remember before
So
he got
funny.
liquor in the store, it
Yeah.
used to be phones behind there.
That's exactly what
back
it
in the
was.
day.
Yeah, when we're talking back in the days,
That is back in
97,
the day, yeah.
98.
What a
What do you
small
mean? I used to
world.
go
Yeah.
visit him. I never knew what the hell Belleville was, coming from West
it's
Bloomfield,
random
you know what I'm saying?
City by the airport.
Dude, and Chaldeans over there, you know what I'm saying? It looks white
You
as
and
day.
far
You know what I'm
between,
saying?
right?
Yeah, man. I walked in there and I'm driving. I said, man, finally I get to Belleville. So
I
that's
know.
awesome. Small
That's so
world,
funny.
man.
It is.
So I'm friends with Mark Sadek too.
Oh, no
Very
kidding,
close
yeah.
with Mark and Amanda.
Yeah.
You know,
Marwan.
Yep.
Yeah, Marwan, exactly.
Yep. Grew up with them too. So
Yeah.
yeah. Your grandpa.
Sid.
Yep.
Yeah.
He used to come and handle stuff while your dad was at the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What kind of what do you mean handle stuff?
He'd come and take care of okay, so
Oh.
we used to be on 7 in Southfield,
Okay.
right? And your dad was in Belleville. So he'd come in and take care of stuff for Chris, in the sense of picking up prepaid cards, phones, pages.
No kidding.
Back in the days, he'd give him a hand, you know what I'm saying?
Wow,
Because
yeah, he
your
still
dad would be
helps out.
your dad would be at the store all the time.
Right.
He was there a lot.
Yeah, Sid still comes in. He's
Yeah.
82, I think, and he still helps out to
God
this day.
bless
I
him,
know,
man.
God
That's
bless him.
Yeah. So when you go home, just make sure you say, Dad, remember PageTel?
Okay, I'll remind
Say
him.
Say why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Small
So you
world.
started out working with your dad, too,
I did,
right?
actually. So I started out working with my dad at 6 years old. And I think that's where I got a lot of the values that I still hold with me today, hard work, being ethical, being a good communicator, helping customers out. I think that helped me a lot in life, just learning how to communicate with customers, customer service, all those kind of things really.
You learn the hustle.
I learned the
grind.
hustle. Yeah, I learned. I had a good example of somebody who's working hard, and that kind of inspired me too. I think I didn't realize it at the time, but I think that's where I kind of got the entrepreneurial bug a little
Of course,
bit.
yeah.
Sure.
So you know what I mean? And then through college, I did a few internships and realized
What kind of internship?
So I did an internship for Bosch, which is an automotive supplier.
Okay.
And then I did an internship for Ford Credit in South Carolina this summer. And I liked them, but I realized this isn't what I want to be doing for my whole life. And they're great, nothing wrong with it, but
Sure.
I realized I want to do something with fitness, with health, because that's something I've always really been passionate about.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was going to be at the time, thinking back to when I was in those internships. I didn't know what it was going to be, if I was going to be a health coach or if I was going to do something with nutrition, because I'm really into meal prepping and nutrition. So, and then I think it all kind of came full circle because I was really paying more attention to what kind of ingredients were in my food and being really cautious of what I was putting in my body.
Interesting.
And because that's so important, you know, I realized kind of that your workouts, they're like, you know, they're what they are. They're crucial, they're important, but they're not going to get you the ultimate results you want. If you want to achieve the physique of your dreams, I would say arguably 80 to 85%, in my opinion, comes down to your diet and your nutrition.
Really? That
Yeah,
high, huh?
I really think it's super high because
I don't know. I would say I don't know how the percentage is. I can somewhat agree to a point. Diet's the biggest thing.
It is,
'Cause
yeah.
Do you think about Lena when she was on our show? You know, if you ever, we'll introduce you to
Okay.
Lena from Clean Eats.
I listened to that
You,
episode.
okay,
yeah.
she could be
From
someone I can
Powerhouse.
tie into a big, but your diet is like
it is.
me. I can't physically do everything as as an athlete, right? So I'm limited to like your standard, you know, your cardio and all that stuff, right? But the number one thing I found was if I didn't diet still, that gut was still
It was
there.
still there,
It was
yep.
still, you know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. So I get what you're saying. So
Yeah. And that's what I kind of realized because in high school I did rowing for my first 3 years at St. Mary's. Similar to where Junior, we were talking about that earlier.
we're
We're
St.
brothers,
Mary's
so we
brothers,
went
so.
to St. Mary's, so I did rowing there.
Yep.
And then my junior year, I injured myself. I injured my back, and I started just working out. I started going to the gym, started fitness, and that's what really gave me that fitness lifting bug.
Sure.
And the first few years it was okay, but I didn't really get the results that I was looking for. Like I had these idols, these people that I was looking up to on YouTube that I was watching and studying every day, and like saw their body like as a guy, and it was like almost like, how is that ever attainable? Like how did they achieve that?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it was almost like I always used to think like, what is their secret? Like what I would want to go up to people at LA Fitness and say like, what is your secret?
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
And I later realized like when I started getting into meal prepping and nutrition and
Food.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
where it came from.
So I'm looking at your hands. You got callus.
Yeah,
So you must work out a lot.
I do. Yeah. So I go to Equinox now in Bloomfield Hills, which I love.
And what's the regimen? Like, what's your?
So I would like split it into a different body part every day. So I'll do legs one day, back, arms, shoulders, chest, and then I usually work out 4 to 5 days a week.
Oh wow. Good
And
for
then
you.
on Sundays, every Sunday I do meal prep. So I prep for all my food for
Really?
Nice.
Monday through
Does
Friday.
it last the whole?
I do
time?
I do
Okay.
Monday through Friday. I think Saturday, Sunday is not too good by then. So I like to do 5 days, but
For somebody that wants to meal prep, like what's a real quick?
yeah, so the real
Example
quick
of-
rundown, I'd say hit Costco or Sam's Club. That's going to be your best bet because you're going to get the bulk foods for cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You're going to put it to good use if you're making food in those big quantities. And personally, I meal prep for 3 people. So I do it for myself,
Oh, no shit.
my girlfriend Ashley, and my sister Rhea.
Okay.
So I used to just do it for myself a few years
Do you
ago.
charge them?
but-
all right.
I
Or
don't
do they
charge-
got at least help? You have to
They
get a
do
sous
help.
chef.
Yes, they do
All right,
help.
that's
They
your sous
definitely
chef.
help.
Then we'll okay.
One does dishes, one
Yep.
does this,
Fair enough,
exactly.
fair
One does
enough.
the rice, the
Hey,
chicken.
fair enough.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'd say the main points are hit Costco or Sam's Club, get your bulk food, have a list of what you wanna get beforehand, so that way you're not getting random stuff that you don't really
Right.
need.
Right.
But when you say get a list, what's a good path to work
So
off
good
of? Do I
path.
go to like Pinterest or where do I find some like leads to how to start somewhere with
Yeah,
meal?
so I'd say like there's so many good YouTube videos out there about
YouTube's
just clean
great,
nutrition
yeah,
and
sure.
like meal prepping. If you ever want to check out my Instagram, Nigel
Perfect.
Fit,
That's- yeah.
I have a highlight on there of like probably 100 meal prep different ideas
perfect.
and
Nice.
videos and recipes.
So they
and
don't have to
stuff.
go anywhere but
Yeah,
your
they can,
Instagram.
anyone can DM me and I'll help them with nutrition. I can send you my whole grocery list.
Do you
Oh,
do
cool.
that ever? Like, is there a fee ever involved? Or do you?
I don't charge anyone yet. Over
Okay.
the summer,
Sure.
I was working on like building a course for it actually, just because so many people were asking me
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So I wanted
That'd
to.
be kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
almost like an app or like an
Yeah,
online
literally.
course.
So
That's
that's
the YouTube channel, right?
yeah. So that's something that I still want to do, but I've been so busy with the deodorant lately, I haven't had a chance. But like basically the rundown I always tell people stick to your one ingredient foods. So some people call them whole foods. I think that can get kind of confusing because the store, if you tell someone Whole Foods, they'll think
Yeah. They go to
I
Whole
have to
Foods.
go Whole Foods and spend $500 for groceries.
Right.
But Whole Foods basically just means one ingredient. So you look at the ingredient label, it's just chicken, it's rice,
Oh, wow.
potatoes,
Okay.
That's a,
you know, olive oil,
Sure.
broccoli, corn, just simple one ingredient whole foods that are from an animal or from the earth. They're not heavily processed,
Okay.
and they're not. They don't have a lot of fillers or additives or
Preservatives.
Yep.
or synthetic garbage. So stick to your simple one ingredient foods. And the thing about meal prepping is it doesn't have to be complicated. I think just a simple base of carbs. You can either do like rice, sweet potatoes, Yukon Gold potatoes, pasta, and then have your protein, so chicken, ground beef. I like to use like grass-fed burger patties too, just grill them and then put them on a bed of rice, and that's just really simple and easy.
Do you believe the balance on that, like the whole 85-15, 80-20 when you do those patties? What do you want to lean? What do you?
Oh, do you mean
is
for
the fat okay? Yeah. Is the fat okay?
I think they usually come 85-15.
And that's okay,
and that's
right?
okay, yeah.
So fat is okay.
Fat's okay. We all do need fat for our hormones, for our brain health, overall health. Like my diet. So if you do your macros, like I usually have about 100 grams of fat per day.
Okay.
And that's pretty high, but for somebody who's working out and active and young too and burning through it, like that's a good, I would say for you guys probably around 65, 70 grams.
You do how much?
I do around
100?
a little bit over 100.
He's burning faster.
The
fat
plus twice as
well, I was going to say, I'm hitting like 200.
No, come on. You wouldn't hit 200. That's funny though.
So what did you go to school for?
So I actually went to school for finance at Michigan State. So I just graduated recently and studied business there. Thank you. And I loved it, but I always knew my main passion was health and fitness. And I knew that's what I wanted to do something with. Like I used to see myself working in the business world, working with investments, stocks, anything like that. Consulting was something I really wanted to do because I had a few friends who went into that. And then, like, kind of back to what I was saying with nutrition, like, I started paying attention to the ingredients more in my foods and what I was eating and what I was putting into my body. And then, as I started doing that more, I kind of took it a step further and was looking at what's in our skincare and our cosmetics and our personal care products that we use every day and usually just don't think twice about it. We grab it from CVS or from the drugstore.
Right.
And we just, that's what we use for our whole life. But like deodorant, for example, just that one little stick, something you wear every day, all day, your whole life, it has a bigger impact on your health than you think.
Right.
So a few years ago, probably about 3-4 years ago, one of my uncles, his name's Cal, he was telling me about this lady in Beverly Hills who made him this coconut oil deodorant. And she used to just make it out of a few simple ingredients and put it in a jar. And he used it and like he worked out and he said it worked great. And I just thought that was so interesting that there was
What does it mean that the deodorant worked great?
It means you didn't smell, you didn't have any BO, it kept you dry, it lasted all day, and you smelled good too. Like it had a nice, I think they used essential oils or something in it, so it smelled good. And I was just really like, it was just a shock to me because it was something totally new that I had never heard of before.
Right.
And I thought it was so cool, like with fitness and nutrition, like obviously I was trying to live a healthier lifestyle. And to learn about another product that you can implement that also promotes a healthier lifestyle was really interesting and something I wanted to get into.
Right.
So
the first thing you did, you went first of all worried about what goes in your body.
Right.
In terms and I want to commend you on something too. Though.
Okay.
So you talked about like your back injury. Just so we take one step back, you had a back injury. But what I like that I want the viewers to know is you don't always have to jump into surgery immediately. You don't have to just get into the knife right away.
Exactly.
So I must have been out of the room when you guys talked about the back, right?
No, we
kind of like glazed
he just glided over. He said when I was in high school I ended up having a little injury and then I started working out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's how I got into working out was I did rowing at St. Mary's. So
rowing.
It's on Orchard Lake.
Gotcha.
So then he started finessing his back instead of right away. Let's just get to the doctor and go through the
right.
And I kind of learned like I did the whole chiropractor. I had a few cortisone shots, but I did acupuncture, like a few other.
You went more holistic.
Yeah, I tried to do the more holistic.
Was it a muscular thing or?
It was actually one of the discs.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So it still a little bit bothers me to this day. But I kind of just learned how to work around it and accommodate that in my normal workouts without agitating it.
You ended up being that he took on that good approach of let me go this route. Then you were worried more or less, what am I putting on my body?
Exactly.
And then you started fixing that situation.
Yeah.
Then you went into what am I putting on my body?
Yeah.
And one thing, like, it's good to know these things and the reason, like for example, I used to get migraine headaches and I still do a lot, but I was going more down the line. Believe it or not,
did it help?
I've had very lightly sinus pressure since the day he did that.
What did he do?
We had Tom Naemi. He's an evangelist here on our show last week, and he did a prayer and a healer.
Really?
So Anthony said to him, he gets a lot about me. He said, I get a lot of migraine headaches. The reason I'm leading to this is it's going into exactly what you're doing, but I had to go through days of writing down what did I eat for the day, what was the parameter for the day, how did the change of humidity affect it. So little by little I started identifying things. First foremost was what I put in my body. I can't touch nitrates, okay? So I can't go to the ballpark and have a regular hot dog. By 6th, 7th inning, I'm hurting.
Oh no,
right?
yeah.
Yep, because the nitrates that
or
are in
just
there.
some of the stuff that's in chicken or regular beef
What do you mean?
that you think
What
you don't
people,
realize.
What people don't even think to themselves is, I'm eating this beautiful corned beef sandwich. It's not supposed to look pink.
Really?
Do you know that?
No.
Do you know
What's it supposed to look?
Corned beef is not supposed to look pink.
Brown,
It's
right?
brown.
Yeah.
By the time it comes out, it's supposed to be that darker grayish brown look. It's the sulfur, the stuff that they put in with the nitrates, the salt and sodium.
Like a diet,
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It dyes it.
And it's not like it's the pink in the middle of the steak.
Of the beef. It's not.
The whole
it's
thing.
The whole thing.
Yep.
It makes it look good. It's more appealing because on a sandwich when you look at it. But see, that's what the common consumer doesn't understand. You're putting something in there that works opposite to what your body is, you know? So like you, I started identifying certain things to do that.
Yeah.
Next thing I was getting into is somebody asked me about they said, what deodorant do you use? And I
Are
said,
you serious?
Yeah, I said, I use Degree and stuff like that. They said, so you know, there's stuff in there like heavy metals.
Yes. That can lead to Alzheimer's and different forms of cancer or hormone disruption.
Yep.
A lot of other serious stuff.
Yep.
Who asked you about that? That's so interesting.
So I have Frances. You know, Frances George. She's very deep into holistic stuff. She always talks about this because I was messing around years ago trying to make my own like salves and stuff like that. You know, it's not easy.
No, it's very challenging.
We'll let the viewers know what you went through. But the point is, there is some people that are aware of it, and I kept looking at Pinterest like, how do I make something to put under my arm? Then when you go into it, you dig deeper. Shampoo. You use shampoo almost every day, if not every other day.
Yeah.
And that's going into your scalp and in your head. So I had to identify more natural ones. So possibly, is it getting to me, giving me the headaches? Am I getting this, you know? So little by little, I've tried to identify it. But the consumers don't know.
No.
So it's good for you.
And also, like, your skin is your most absorbent organ. So whatever you put on it gets absorbed directly into your bloodstream.
And aren't your underarms even more?
Yeah, they are. They're very absorbent. They're very sensitive.
Are your lymph nodes?
Your lymph nodes are right there.
Are right there. So they're connected to it.
And for women, your breast tissues right there. So it's interesting because if you have breast cancer and you have to get
your breast
treatment, they tell you you can't wear regular deodorant.
Wow.
Yeah, if you get, I don't know if it's not an X-ray. What's the other one called where they do
mammogram?
The mammogram.
Yeah, it's like the metal where they put the thing over
you have to be able to check and see for that.
They tell you. I've heard from a lot of people. They tell you have to use natural deodorant. You can't use the one with aluminum in it.
And when they're doing that testing, because the aluminums was showing the testing.
It conflicts with it. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's talk about Breathe Naturals.
Yeah. So a little bit about Breathe Naturals. Back to we were saying like. So my uncle was telling me about the natural deodorant, and it basically started as just like something I was kind of playing around with, using it just for myself. Like I remember I went to Plum Market and just got a jar of coconut oil, arrowroot powder, which absorbs the moisture, and then baking soda and like a peppermint essential oil. And I kind of just melted it in like this was probably like my sophomore year in college.
Okay.
And I just melted it down in like the microwave, mixed it, and then poured it in these little glass mason jars.
Yeah.
And like I was using it and I was loving it because it was all natural, it was holistic, like you were saying. And it truly worked even through my long and like difficult workouts.
Oh.
And I just started kind of telling more people about it and like showing it to people, and a lot of people were getting really interested. And then I started researching what are some other beneficial ingredients I could add to it. And like Junior was saying, like Pinterest, YouTube, these different blogs, like these different holistic blogs, I was learning about like shea butter. Like I use arrowroot powder to absorb the moisture. Then I learned I could use like tapioca starch, magnesium to reduce that odor rather than baking soda because it can be kind of harsh on sensitive skin.
Okay.
And then when I started working with the chemists, fast forward, I learned about even more beneficial ingredients like elderberry extract, which can reduce free radicals in your body and adds a lot of nourishing and healing properties, different antioxidants, vitamin E, aloe vera, just a lot of these really great ingredients that are super beneficial for our skin. And
so you took
And
all
natural.
of these
Yeah.
ingredients. You took
Yeah.
all of these ingredients. All
yeah,
those ingredients
so
are in here.
the deodorant
So it
is
evolved
about 15 from like 3 to like 15 ingredients.
Wow, nice.
But if
And-
you hear it's all the
Yeah.
natural side of it is what he's
Yeah,
given.
exactly.
There's not one thing that he said that one of us couldn't
Right,
pronounce.
it's all
Right.
pronounceable. It's all recognizable.
Yep.
And that's
I was saying, so the viewers know, just
Mm.
so they get an understanding. So you and I, because I messed with it a little bit, but the arrowroot and stuff like
yeah,
that. So it's your emulsifier,
exactly.
right? So basically, it's like saying like oil and water.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They can't mix, they
Right.
don't
Right.
bond.
Right.
So
This
that's
is the
what his
bonding.
arrowroot and stuff. Yeah, because you see sometimes like the more natural.
What is
ones-
an arrowroot?
Arrowroot is just a grain. It's like a starch, basically. It's
Okay.
just like a powder, and it
So it
absorbs
was a
the
root.
sweat.
It's a
Sounds
natural,
like it was a root
yeah,
that you pull out of the ground. They
just
powder
grind it,
Wonderful.
powderize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they
Yep.
and that makes it emulsify, so it sticks, so it's
Mhm.
not greasy
Yep,
running
it's
off.
not
of
gritty.
us.
Right.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say the thing about pronounce, because too, also it just reminded me of like when people look at the ingredient label, they want to say, oh, like I can't pronounce this, but it's automatically not good. But if you look at the back of a deodorant or any shampoo or body wash and you see the word fragrance, that's actually kind of a loophole that a lot of these companies use as a way to get just one word on there when really that ingredient could have 1,000 to 3,000 different ingredients that make up that word fragrance.
Wow.
So that actually can be one of the most harmful and toxic ingredients in your skincare, your
The
deodorant.
one called fragrance.
Fragrance, because it's
Crazy.
technically a trade secret, so they can't tell you what's in it. And it can contain all kinds of different chemicals and toxins
I
that
got you.
can
That's great
basically wreak
information.
havoc on your health.
So how do you create these 3 different fragrances?
So these are all essential oils. So basically, the grapefruit and lemon are both essential oils. This one's bergamot and lime, which is the scent comes from essential oils. And then this one I use coconut extract. So it's a coconut extract from an all-natural supplier.
Okay.
And then peppermint essential oil. So that
Cool.
one is the most popular. It's called Cooling Cocoa Mint, and it's a nice, refreshing, crisp coconut mint
top on
scent.
it, Jay.
Yeah,
I
can pick it up for you.
I don't want to. It's okay.
That's
I just
okay.
want to be able
You
to
guys
smell
can
through
keep
it.
these, so you guys can do whatever you want with them. But this is our most
wow.
popular scent. It's Cooling Cocoa Mint,
Uh-huh.
and that's
It's nice. It's
Wow.
natural. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I want to eat it.
The girls will actually stand next to me with that.
They
wow,
they
these,
would.
These are
And
fantastic.
it keeps you fresh
fragrance.
smelling
Scent,
all day.
Scent,
Yeah.
not fragrance.
Exactly. But yeah, so people
Wow.
have really been loving them lately.
Nice.
Right? Grab that one.
Oh yeah,
You know,
cool.
cap it.
So yeah, in my opinion, just
You know,
natural.
this reminds me of a very like nice aromatic steam room or
It is,
something
yeah.
that gives you that
a nice
like
citrus,
yeah.
crisp citrus scent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm also working on adding a few more scents like this year, like a manly or like cedar spice musk
Sure,
to appeal to men
sure.
more. Because I would
Yep.
say right now, about 70% of our customers are women.
Yep.
So I want to get it more, like all the scents are unisex. They can be both for men and women.
Is it because we're such savages?
Maybe,
We
I don't
just
know.
walk
I
out
think,
and not care.
I think guys are just okay with like rubbing some dirt
Yeah,
on it. They don't
yeah,
care as much
yeah.
about the natural, but
No.
it seems like you guys are really into
Yeah.
it, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm working on adding some new scents, like a cedar spice for men, like a nice floral, like rose or lavender for women, and then an unscented too as well for people who have really sensitive skin.
Nice.
Where can people find these?
So people can find them online, so breathe-naturals.com.
Breathe-naturals.com.
Yep, breathe-naturals.com. And if you use the code FIRST15 at checkout, that saves you 15% for our
Nice.
viewers.
Nice.
And then you can also find them locally if you're around Birmingham. You can get them at Market Square. And you can also get them at Village Pharmacy. They have 2 locations. And then ZMC Pharmacy in Royal Oak.
ZMC?
Yep, so that's also owned by Gabe and Renee's family.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Nice.
we'll
It's
give
all
a
Chaldean
It
supported.
is all Chaldean,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll give a little shout out to Gabe and Renee.
Jordanian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordanian, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll give a little shout out
Yeah.
to Gabe and Renee Zawida.
Yep.
For sure.
And we'll give a
Village
shout-
Pharmacy, baby.
Village Pharmacy, exactly. We'll give a shout out to Johnny Karma, who owns Market Square, for
Johnny's good
supporting.
people. Yep.
Yep, because I did a little like a pop up there a few
Did
weeks
you?
ago, so that was
Oh, nice.
fun. Yep.
Any luck with Plum? Have you gotten into
Plum, I haven't gotten into Plum yet, but that's
Because
definitely a
those
goal
guys
of
are pretty
mine. Yeah.
welcoming to
I think so, so-
Cali.
Absolutely.
I'd love to get into Plum.
Yep. We'll see if we can get you connected
Okay,
with the right
cool.
person with that too. So, Nigel, before we even get into like these like
Yeah.
scents and availability, the ramp up wasn't easy.
No,
Tell
not
people
at all.
the trials and tribulations that you had to get to
Yeah.
these. Just these 3 will say, you know what I'm
Literally.
saying, what it took you to get to those.
Yeah, so kind of back to what I was saying about like researching more of the ingredients, like you were telling me with Pinterest and YouTube and the blogs. So just started learning about more beneficial ingredients, and then each time I would go to like make a batch for myself or my family, my girlfriend to try out, I would order something new, like from Amazon or just from one of these bulk apothecary suppliers, and try a new ingredient in it. Like I learned vitamin E is really great for your skin, so I wanted to try that. Aloe vera is really great for your skin, so I wanted to try that. And it kind of just evolved over that year that I was formulating. So I started formulating in November of 2018.
Okay.
And I actually didn't start selling it until November of 2019.
Sure.
So a whole year of trial and error, basically, like you were saying. So I went through about 65 different formulas to get it to where it is today.
That's a lot.
And,
what was the hardest point? The hardest point in that time frame on the 65 times you tried it. Was there a point you were like, I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm done. I have
a picture to show you guys afterwards where one of the deodorants, like, so I lived in South Carolina this summer for an internship. And I think I left, so I went to Atlanta for one weekend, and I think I left the deodorant in the car. And it was still in that formulation sample phase where it was trial and error.
Sure.
And I took a picture of it because it literally looked like a melted snow cone. It was just like
we're gonna edit the picture into the episode.
We can edit it in.
Yeah, if you can edit us,
if we didn't, then they'd be like, oh, we want to see the picture.
Right.
Yeah. So
I can send you guys the picture. I did like a side by side of like what it looked like there, and it's just like this is awful. Literally, compared to what it is today. So
well, it's good for them to know and they get to see it because it's not always easy. It wasn't sunny days in the office.
So now these can be left in the car.
These can be left in the car, and so Junior, what you're saying, the biggest challenge was getting it stable, so that way it could withstand heat. So say it's the summer, you live in a warm state, Florida or Texas, you leave it in the car while you're at work or at the gym. You want it to be solid, obviously, when you come out and you want to put it on, because with the natural ingredients like coconut oil, for example, that's the highest percentage ingredient in the deodorant is coconut oil.
Okay.
Around 30% of the formula. Coconut oil normally melts at 76 degrees.
Gotcha.
So I was able to find another version of coconut oil that melts at 92 degrees. So that helped a lot. And then working with the chemist, she was able to introduce some ingredients like azocarite wax, which is a earth wax. It just comes from these sandstones. They extract them from the stones and they turn it into a wax form. It's just this clear white wax. And then candelilla wax, which comes from a flower or a plant in Texas. So it's all natural, and those have extremely high melting points, like around 180, 160 degrees. So the deodorant itself won't melt till around like 130, 140 degrees. So that was the biggest challenge.
And it's all natural.
It was still with all natural ingredients. I didn't put any petroleum-based ingredients, and a lot of deodorants that are considered natural, they actually do have some ingredients in them that I would stay away from personally, and that I didn't want to include in my formula. So, example, one of the most prominent ingredients in deodorants and even some natural deodorants is propylene glycol. And propane diol. So those are two like sister ingredients. And they're petroleum based. So they come from petroleum, and they're known by the EWG as a known skin irritant. And they can also be linked to some other serious health.
Like Vaseline. Vaseline is
petroleum.
Sometimes it can be irritable. You know
it can, It can give you a rash, and it also, one other thing is that it's a skin. I forgot what it's called, but basically
it blocks a little bit, doesn't it?
It's not blocks. It it helps transfer the ingredients into your skin better. So it can also help transfer the whatever negative ingredients are in that formula back into your skin.
Sure.
So that's something that I would
conductor.
Essentially.
You know what's crazy? How he says that. When we have that common thinking, we see the word natural. What's your first presumption? It's good.
It's good. It's safe, right?
But
uranium is natural.
Right.
It's from the earth. Right? Uranium it's not good for us.
The fragrance word got me too. That's crazy.
I think that's the thing is like it's such a buzzword right now, and there's no like it's not so scrutinized like by the FDA or USDA where it says organic or something.
Like they're supposed to be for our best interest. You know what I'm saying? How are you just letting something pass knowingly it's going to cause something, after the fact? It's unbelievable.
Very true.
What do these cost?
So these are $12.99 a stick, and if you use the
nice.
discount, the first 15 they end up being around $11.
Okay.
Which isn't bad compared to some
all
natural.
natural.
It's all natural.
Yeah.
It's true all natural.
Because
you
the
know?
ingredients, some of the ingredients are super expensive. Like
Yeah,
some
of
of
course.
these little extracts are like
Yeah.
$80 for just a few ounces.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it does last an extremely long time. Like the stick will last you like 3, sometimes even 4 months. So
Yeah,
you
so
do
you're
get
talking
your
about a
money's
couple
worth
cents
for
a
sure.
day, is all.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what's
And-
wild about all the stuff that you're talking about, ingredients? A lot of this that is used in what he's doing is part of candle making too.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct? Wild?
think,
Like
yeah.
shea butter,
Yep.
like you can use like beeswax, which can be also used and implemented in.
So true. Yeah.
You know, isn't
Well, I
that-
mean, that's kind of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're rubbing
Yeah,
it.
it kind of.
Yeah, you're rubbing
and
a
it's
layer
got
of-
to stay solid like a candle, so
Yeah.
that's very
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
And the beeswax, I actually used to use beeswax in the first formulas,
Mm-hmm.
but then I decided like I wanted it to be able. Some people consider beeswax to not be vegan,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
so I want to appeal to everyone. Vegan.
So this is a vegan
it
product.
is vegan too.
Sandy Serrafo
Vegan,
put me up on
cruelty-free.
that.
Yeah.
She does all. She has.
Isn't that interesting?
I had no
Because it's
clue.
not harming
She
the
does
bees
the waxing.
technically, right?
Beeswax.
Yeah.
She doesn't use the normal like how we used to use that
Uh-huh.
that like
The yellow
syrupy
one.
stick,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
She uses true beeswax. Some people, she said, don't patron with her because of the fact that
Mhm.
they're vegan and that comes from bees and stuff. And
Right.
they say you're harming. You know, it's wild. You
It
know,
is.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got all the natural products in here.
Yeah.
So
And-
you, I was gonna say, you ever thought about getting it OMRI listed or anything like that? Like where it gives the it's the stamp of approval. Like
I
you
would
guys,
love to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
What's the OMRI listed?
So it's basically it's organically manufactured is what it is.
Okay.
So everything in here is all organic. So when you
Yeah.
have that stamp and Anthony sees it, it's your pedigree to say that you paid
okay.
for it in order for it to be truly tested. So they went and they break everything down
Wow.
and source it to say, okay, this is 100% organic. He's able
That's
to put
pretty
this.
sweet.
So the conscious consumer
The
sees
rest
that.
assured. Yeah.
They're good.
Exactly.
They're good. So that'd be cool to
And-
see you have that on.
Yeah.
And give them that information where
Yep.
you can.
Okay.
get
Yep,
that
I
done.
got
That'll
you.
be
Everything
awesome.
you got, we'll help you out
Thank
with
you
anything
so much,
you need.
Junior.
Yep.
Thank
Yep,
you.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and you can have a clean conscience knowing that you're using a product that's safe and effective, and it truly lasts all day. So a lot of natural deodorants too, like a lot of people are a little skittish about them because they think, oh, I tried this one or my friend tried it and she smelled like BO or he stunk after a
Yep.
few hours.
Yep.
And that kind of gives natural deodorants a bad rap. And that's actually one of the main reasons why I wanted to create Breathe Naturals was I wanted a natural deodorant that truly worked. And I wanted it to work for not just everyone, but people who sweat the most, athletes, bodybuilders, people who are doing fitness every day, and people who are lifting and sweating a lot. So it truly does work really, really well for people who live that busy and active lifestyle and lasts all day
sure.
long.
Most gym owners are into health and fitness
Yeah.
and natural
Just not the
remedies.
beauty side.
So wouldn't this pair nicely with being in the gyms?
I think so, yeah. I did a pop-up demonstration at Equinox,
Uh-huh.
which is like a really health-conscious gym
Sure.
in Bloomfield Hills.
Yep.
And people there really, really loved it. So
Okay.
I
Pretty
think
cool to
it'd be
maybe
really
see
well.
with Jason and them over at the Powerhouse.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just grab. Maybe somebody forgets their deodorant one day.
Yeah, I'm saying it'd
Yeah.
be nice to introduce you to them so you can do a pop up
Yeah,
there too.
that'd
you
be
know,
great. The
they're
one in,
into that
the one in,
Pontiac Trail and Haggerty, the
Okay.
Bloomfield location.
Yeah.
It's their newest and it's their newest concept
I've
of
heard
what
that one's really nice.
Yep. So I
Yeah.
can one of the co-owners is my cousin too with them.
Okay,
so
wow.
I can introduce you guys and just see if you could do a pop up.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. It's a good way to market and get
I've
yourself.
been to the one
in.
in Nova. That one's really nice.
That's nice.
That's a really nice
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
That's like the master.
That was the
Flagship.
staple of
Yeah.
the change.
Yep.
That was the
Flagship,
change
yeah.
to their whole
Wow.
common conception of Powerhouse was that like you're supposed to be this built, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So good. So
The
yeah, maybe
ones
we'll
back
get
in
you.
the day were a little more grungy.
Well, yeah. This is the thing. Well,
Yeah.
his point well taken. You
Yeah.
want to leave the shower or the locker room
Exactly.
smelling at least decent, but
Yeah.
good to get you in. So what's the steps that you're taking to market yourself so you can help people know like it wasn't easy getting off your feet,
Right.
So what are you doing now besides you got a few of the Chaldeans that
Mhm.
you're doing business with? What's some of the other methods you're doing?
So social media is something I want to promote a lot more. Facebook, Instagram. I'm working on the Google ads too.
Sure.
Just getting the word out there more and telling people about the benefits of using a natural deodorant. I
Sure.
think it's kind of just like a no-brainer in your everyday routine because it is, it's a healthy, safe way to smell great all day and know that you're not risking your health with any aluminum or any parabens or synthetic fragrance that are linked to a lot of serious health, consequences.
So have you done any promoting with this product on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
On my personal Instagram I have, and then if you want to follow Breathe Naturals on Instagram, that'd be awesome.
Are you on Facebook at all?
Yeah, Facebook too.
Oh, under a page or your own personal name?
Both actually. So you can,
good.
if you want to add me, Nigel Sadek.
Yep.
And then
I think we follow each other already.
I think so. Yeah.
I do. Okay,
yep.
but I'm not following your page for this yet, which is cool.
I just made that one recently, so I'll invite us all. I'll invite you to it. Cool.
Invite us all. There's a couple groups out there that it could help fall into too. I mean, because he's more. He's got like 70% aimed more for women buyers to say. Chaldean women page, mom's page. Yeah,
I didn't know that those existed.
We may even get you to donate to Chaldean American Ladies of Charity, so some of the refugees can have it and some of the stuff they give away.
I was thinking I have all these I would give them some good ones too, but I have so many samples of the ones that I made. I would love to donate those because
we have. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
But so we have a mixer coming up on this. It'll be. We'd have already had it, but so we're going to have gift bags if you want to drop samples in the gift bags. We're going to have 100 gift bags there.
Yeah. That's a cool idea.
You're going to show up. Make sure you show up. Wear your shirts wherever you got, and just the biggest thing about that is everyone's going to ask, so what do you do?
Yeah.
That's going to be the common question.
They're all going to know by the time this episode airs because he'd already met them there.
Yeah. But I'm saying in regards to the whole point of it is,
it's
just so we can all conversate of what do you do.
Right.
So it's like you're probably going to be the only individual that I know that's going to be doing deodorant over there.
That's very true.
So it's cool. So you're going to be a big, topic of conversation to a lot of the women and stuff.
Okay, wow. So, I'm excited for that.
We are too. We are too. I think everybody is pretty excited right now.
But you guys have both already been there.
Yeah.
My cousin actually works there.
We've already been there.
Yeah, we had a blast, you guys. It was so popping over there.
Who works there?
My cousin Cameron Ramaya.
Okay.
I think you said you knew. It was one of you said you knew Raina and Chris.
Yeah,
no, Raina's your aunt.
Raina's my aunt.
Yeah, Chris, we both know. Okay.
Chris Ramaya.
Yeah.
It's their son. He's like 17
Chris,
or 16.
Tommy, all of them. Yeah. Chris just retired recently from his long journey of Wolverine party story.
Yeah.
Him and Tom, they had such a hell of a relationship with that community.
But
isn't that crazy? Like Chaldeans build that rapport, and we just have that.
And everyone knows each other.
Oh, everyone knows each other.
It's so true. Or knows the brother of someone.
Look right now.
So you were talking about high school and that. So back in the day, a bunch of us would, in our high school days, what we would do for fun on the weekends was we would claim to be on the prom committee, and we would go from hotel to hotel and just get hotel tours and kind of,
Really?
So the manager would come, be like about 4 or 5 of us. It was me, your dad, Mark Alhermisi, Neb McKinney.
Mark Alhermisi was one of my dad's friends from college. And
I forget one of the other, who else was with us, but it was 5 of us in my Jeep. The top was down. It was probably 60 degrees out. Like it was a little chill, So we go to this hotel, which the Georges owned, and the manager comes to take us on a tour. And, we were all, we weren't dressed, but we were fully clothed.
Yeah.
And so we're walking through and da-da-da-da. And so he's like, and this is the pool area? And I pushed your dad in the pool.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And everybody ran.
I wonder if he remembers that one.
I'm sure he remembers. I mean,
that's funny. How could he
so
forget?
He's cussing us out. And the manager's like, "What the heck is going on?" And
like,
we
who
run.
Are these clowns I brought in?
So we end up all running to the Jeep, and we get in, and he's freezing to death. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, Anthony."
That's hilarious.
So it was just a funny story.
That is a good one.
That's good.
He didn't tell me about that.
No.
I'll have to remind him.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, so it's always a small world when it comes to us, right? We're as big as we think we are. We're still small,
right?
As a community. What's his words of encouragement, or he's been behind you, or who's been your biggest supporter as a family? You know, how did that play out? Because it's different from what we would normally grow up with.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's there working in Belleville, teaching you the retail life.
Literally, yep.
You took a whole different angle.
I did, but my dad and my mom have both been extremely supportive. I think like when you start something new, anyone who wants to start a business or start something from scratch, helping people, like when you first tell people about the idea, they're like, we'll see, like,
Yeah.
whatever, you know, like, they want to see that it's got some legs. They
Sure.
want to see that you're actually willing to put in the work and,
Right.
you know, make some progress first before anyone really, like, backs you up on it.
Yep.
So they saw that I was, like, really committed to it, working hard, putting my money where my mouth was, and actually, like, investing heavily into it, both time and energy and money. And they really started to, like, support me and, like, encourage me. And, like, my mom helped me with, like, build the entire website from scratch.
Great.
My mom actually helped me create the labels because she does websites and graphic design and e-commerce stuff. So she's been, like, a huge...
For a living?
For a living, yeah.
Okay. Shout her out.
So my mom's Suzanne Sadek, and she owns Sumo Sweet Creative.
Sumo
Sweet, yep.
Sumo Sweet Creative.
Yeah.
Where's that based out of?
Birmingham.
Okay.
Yep.
And she just does media marketing
Yeah,
and all that
digital
stuff?
marketing, stuff like that. So
That's
she's
cool.
been a huge asset for Breathe Naturals.
So what is Chris doing right now? Is he still at Belleville?
Yep, he's still in Belleville.
You gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, he's still in Belleville. He built probably a whole new store since you saw him last.
Yeah, so if I recall...
When were you going there?
Okay, that's what
Early
I'll tell you.
2000 or 90 or?
Probably 96, 97, 98, around that
It
time.
looks a little different
Yeah,
now.
so when I pulled up, I remember it was a little bit more of a dirt road, or dirt in the front a little bit.
It's a big difference
yeah,
now, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a little white building, white store and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a long
It's a
time
big
ago.
difference now.
Well, Belleville's developed overall,
Yeah.
the whole Belleville, Canton area and all that stuff over there.
Like by the airport and stuff.
Yep. So it's developed. So good for him. So
Yeah.
it's over 20-something years. He's still
been
there.
for a while, yeah.
Jeez.
And he's totally he built like a whole new store since he's been there.
Yeah.
On the other side, there's
Yeah.
a Dunkin' Donuts in
Yeah.
it, and then he owns a car wash too.
Yeah, it was a big property.
Yeah.
That's what he
Yeah,
sat on. I
yep.
remember it was a big property he sat
Exactly.
on. But see, look, good for him. So
Yeah.
he's come a long way too.
Exactly, he
Like I
has.
said, we were big with the. It started with pages when I first met him. Like they had little sessions, but then it was the prepaid he started doing over
Yeah.
there. So good for him.
remember
Kudos
that.
to Chris,
I
man.
know.
Is there anyone else you want to shout out?
I shouted out Renee and Gabe Zawida.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shout out Johnny Carmo
Cool.
from Market Square.
Yep.
Obviously, my parents Suzanne and Chris.
For sure.
My sister Rhea, my girlfriend Ashley,
Cool.
and that I'd say those are my main supporters right now.
What about your friends?
My friends?
was it different for them to see stuff like this?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the funniest things about like starting like a business from scratch is that the people who you thought, and it's kind of sad, and you realize that like you don't realize it until you're actually in it, is like the people who you thought were the closest to you might not even support you. Like they might just be like completely crickets, ghosts when you like tell them about it or ask them to support you or whatever that may be. And then some random people who you barely even know might literally end up being like your biggest fans and your biggest supporters. So, but some of my friends have been great. Some of them I won't say any names.
No, it's okay.
But yeah.
Well, we started this from scratch, and
And this is
we
a
get a lot of
beautiful
crickets
place.
too, which is
yeah, you'd be surprised.
Isn't that funny?
I mean, we have Jim Manna, who's been awesome. Salim Gasso's been awesome. Georgie Abro's been awesome. Faith and Sid Jamil have been awesome.
Yep.
And, a lot of people have been really, really awesome to us,
Supporting.
and we appreciate that. But to get to your point,
You're right.
there are some crickets.
And you don't know why. Is it because we're so common to them? They know us so well.
Right.
It's kind of like you can pick on your brothers and sisters, but then you sit there, your cousins, you're so much more nicer to them. You're much nicer to them. It's just how the dynamics work.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to, just for the sake of
Let's
Tony
do it.
Kassab.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he knows this gentleman or not. He's gonna share your video.
Okay.
Yeah.
He constantly
That's
shows
awesome.
the support over and over.
Yeah.
Him and Faith and a few others, and it's good because you've never met this guy.
Right.
You may meet him if you ever wanted to get a TV or something from ABC One.
Okay,
But
wow.
my point is like when you're saying that, see that somebody who hasn't known you is willing to give.
They're
that
on to help
support.
the most.
That's
it's
it.
so true.
That's it.
Andrew Hayes is another
Andrew
one.
Hayes is huge. Yeah, he's
Out
from
in
out in Cali, San
Really?
Diego. Oh
No
yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. He supports.
Wow.
He's out there. There's another one too. You'll see that constantly comments on our YouTube videos. That's out from California too.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But
Wow.
it's just tying to what you're saying is
Isn't that crazy,
these
though?
people are
Yeah.
going to support you without
Right.
even knowing you. They're going to do that. But when you go to fire this video off,
Okay.
don't be shook that the ones you
No.
think are going to share and aren't sharing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
take it with grace for the ones that are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, good for them.
Shows
So,
you who the real ones are.
It's not. It's just.
People just don't sometimes they
Right.
just don't understand what
They don't see
what
what
they
it
actually
takes.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're
So
not
true.
they're not seeing the same vision that we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's okay though, because when the time comes and you proved your worth,
Yeah, they'll
Yep.
come.
they'll come.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it. And they'll come.
Totally
around.
agree.
Is there anything that we may have missed and not
That you want to talk
yeah, that you
about
want
or
to talk
plug?
about? Anything? Any topics we missed?
We can
off
talk
of this?
about the meal prepping a little bit. I think we kind of jumped over that a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. We
Yeah.
can talk about
Yeah.
that because I think
it's
that could help some
a
people
big
for
time.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
I think that could definitely help some people.
Yep.
So
Go
Sure.
ahead, help us
Sure.
out. a
yeah.
little bit.
So what I was saying back to like hit Costco, have your grocery list
Yep.
in advance. I like to always so like I was saying how I cook for 3 people, I always like to pull out a whiteboard and just write down what we're gonna make for each person. So I'll have Nigel, Ashley, Rhea, and then I'll put like for Nigel like 5 beef burgers, rice, and broccoli or green beans. And then I'll just do that for everyone. So that way you know what you're gonna have in advance,
Right.
and you have like a game plan when you go to cook.
Sure.
And also like you also know what you need to get from the store, so that way you're not like getting any random stuff or
So
wasting
this is
money.
done pre
Pre-meal prep, yeah.
Okay.
And then I usually do that on Saturday, and then on Sunday afternoon is when I'll do the meal prep. And it takes time. It's not like gonna
For
be
sure.
instantly. It takes usually like 3 to 4 hours.
Who does the cooking, homie?
I do most of the cooking.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's the sous chef,
Alright,
and
alright.
then, and then my little sister will come in sometimes and help. Like we call it plating. Like
Yeah.
when you just put
Yeah.
it up, because we'll line out all
Yep.
the black meal prep containers and like
Sure.
put everything in it, weigh it out, and
Sure.
so just I'd say to people, anyone who wants to start meal prepping, just stick to those simple, whole, clean, one ingredient foods like the rice.
Yep.
And I think
Any
also
particular rice? Like, is it white
I like
rice? Is it brown
basmati
rice?
just because
Basmati.
like I think we kind of all
We grew
grew
up
up
on it.
eating it. It's,
Yeah,
it's like a
basmati,
staple
like
of
you
your
said.
diet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
At every meal,
100%.
and it's like what your body kind of like feels best with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think whatever you've been eating since childhood, like your body's so used to it. Like,
Oh yeah.
so that's one of my staples is basmati rice. Rice cooker helps a lot, like when cooking that, just for meal prep, kind of, so that way you don't have to babysit it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I grill all my chicken, do the burgers. I do pasta sometimes too. And then I always have like a vegetable like broccoli or green beans or something like that in my meals.
And is it breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
So breakfast I'll make from scratch every morning.
Okay, right,
Like I'll
right.
just usually have like 3 eggs and then 2 pieces of toast with avocado.
Can I
Yeah.
pitch something on that?
Yeah,
Just
let's
just
do
to
it.
help for meal prep, guys. What I do when I get the time to is I take the muffin pan and I pre-mix the eggs in a bowl with all
Oh,
the
right, right.
vegetables
That sounds
and
good.
everything in there, right? I put like, and because of my situation, I'll tell you
Yeah.
how you get around it. So for the lazy guys,
It's like a little omelet, like a
like an omelet in a cup.
mini omelet.
I'm making
type.
mini omelets. I pour them into each muffin. I put them into the oven and bake
That's
them for about
smart.
20-25 minutes. I eat the fresh ones right then and there, but they're still good for 2-3 days
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
You could take them quick, put them into your
Yeah.
toaster if you wanted to. Forget the microwave.
Yeah.
Just throw them in the toaster if you really want to warm them up. Otherwise, it's a pick up and go. You can eat that thing.
Cold.
Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold. So
like a hard
I
boiled
do that.
egg,
And just for the lazy people out there, just so
No,
they know.
that's not lazy,
no,
that's
no,
smart.
no. I'm saying to you for the lazy people, so they know.
You just helped him.
Well, I'm saying,
Exactly.
and I'm gonna help them. If you can't chop onions because you're irritated by them, if you can't chop tomatoes, Kroger sells them by the packs,
That's
already
right.
pre-diced
That's
up,
true.
ready to
Yeah.
go.
That's
So
true.
in my case, if I'm doing it, you can do it.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
That's my point. So I take them, just throw everything in, and boom, here I
Yeah.
go. So
For sure.
yep,
That's
and it's
pretty
healthy.
sweet.
It's healthy too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It is. It
so
is.
that's a good part of it too.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget
Good.
to spray the pan.
yeah, yeah, very very.
And don't
light.
forget to use olive oil spray or,
Yes.
or
Yes.
the other one, the avocado oil.
Avocado oil, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Just some other healthy swabs too.
So usually we close out the show, right? But you said something at the beginning
did,
of
yeah.
our
When I-
show.
when
You
I
did
catch
touch
your
on-
Well,
attention.
you
Yeah.
touched on the enjoyment of being
Oh,
Chaldean
yeah.
and what we're doing as a community. So if you'd like to flow with that a little
Yeah.
bit.
So
or
what
if
does it mean to you to
Yep.
be Chaldean?
Yep.
So to me, I would say when I was younger, I didn't understand it much, and over time, like spending more time with family, like Shenandoah, whatever it may
Yep.
be, listening to this podcast helped me understand the value of it. And I think one thing too that is important is even if you're not in West Bloomfield or Birmingham or wherever all the Chaldeans live, you go move to Florida or Texas, it's still such a huge part of you culturally and
Yeah.
who you are as a human, your values,
Yep.
like your ethics, your morals, everything. It's a huge part of you.
Yeah.
And it means being supportive of your family, being supportive of the community, like we were saying in the beginning. Somebody starts a business, a family member gets sick, everyone kind of rallies to support them.
No doubt.
And someone starts a charity, everyone's going to be there for it. Like the Xiaojun thing, it's probably going to be a packed house. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
So everyone likes to
hopefully
support
it was.
Oh, hopefully it was a packed house.
Yeah,
It was a packed house. Exactly. Everyone loved it. So, yeah, those are just some main things that stick with me.
Cool.
You know, growing up and being a Chaldean. So,
Awesome.
thank you so much, guys, for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank
I
you.
really
Awesome
loved it.
product.
Yeah,
Thank you,
great
guys.
product. We
Check
look
out
forward to
for
seeing
you.
it in more stores. We want to see it out there. You know, from Plum and a few others that are out there. Even some of our brothers and sisters on the east side have great large supermarkets and stuff that they can get you guys in. You know, it's just getting you into those doors.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, awesome work.
Super
Thanks for
cool.
joining us.
Awesome.
Thank you,
And
Anthony.
sharing your story.
All right, thank you.
Yep, nice.
Thank you,
Thanks, buddy.
Jamie. Awesome.
Yep, thank you. My St. Mary's
Cool.
brother. Thanks,
Exactly.
you guys. So we're signing off. We had a blast at Zhaojun. Wait till the next event is up and coming. So see y'all.
Awesome. Thank you.